Hi there, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend or weekday, morning, afternoon, evening, whatever the hell time you choose to watch this video. I am still a tad bit sick, so my voice is slowly, returning back to normal. But you will hear a more nasally version of my voice for probably the next few days up until this weekend. Maybe by the next stream I do, my voice will sound a little bit clearer. Um, Now, one thing, if you are paying attention to my voice, you will notice that I am sounding a lot more clearer audio-wise. And that is because I'd like to present to you all my new microphone. I've upgraded the microphone from what I was using before, which was that Rock Band mic that I've been on and off with using for videos over the past couple of years. I finally, finally got some dinero and spent that dinero on a much better mic. So, and one where I don't have to hold on to it as I'm talking into it. This mic came with an arm and pop filter. So, huge bonus for me. I can sit here and look at my phone, look at anything else. I could read a book or something, into the microphone, and it'll all be, hands-free thanks to the wonders of technology. I'm saying that as I've worked with with mics with arms and everything back when I was in college, working on my BA, because part of what I was doing in college involved, audio and video work. And among the audio work, I have worked with a multitude of different mics, so this isn't really anything new to me, but for me personally, as I guess a content creator, this is a new thing for me because I have not owned one of these. I have not owned a mic of this caliber with this equipment attached to it, so feels more studio-like. Feels like I'm in the studio about to tell you some deep story or some sort of lecture about some crap I learned on the internet or on TV or something. I feel like I'm one of those people on those morning talk shows where I'm like, yeah, thanks for bringing me into the studio, dude. I'm very excited to get going with the story. And then the other people, the hosts of the show, are like, so tell us what's been going on, what's on your mind, share with us. It's like, well, you see, nothing new's been going on, just the same old, and yeah. Now, I have heard that last week y'all were saying some things about me that just weren't true, and I like to set the record straight, shit like that. It feels like that. As I'm sitting here in my chair talking, into this mic with a pop filter. It's still a weird feeling for me, because obviously, I'm used to the idea of, like, I talk into the mic on my headset, or I talk into the old Rock Band mic, or the multitude of different mics I've worked with. But now I can use this mic and just say what's on my mind in a more comfortable position, I guess. For those of you wondering, this is an Audio Technica AT2020 USB X mic. I learned about this mic from from an interesting journey of that started all the way back in February of 2024 when I went to the first MegaCon I ever attended. I spoke to one of the voice actors there, and they recommended a website for information on getting into voiceover work. And as I read through the website, this particular mic was mentioned as a good mic to use for, recording your voice and doing anything regarding voiceover work, or even stuff with radio or podcasting and all that. So I decided, you know what, I would put this on my favorites on my Amazon shopping list. And eventually, once I've built up good funds, I will invest in this microphone. Well, the time has come, and we now have this microphone that will make appearances on pretty much all of my streams from this moment onward. Like I said, I don't know if I've mentioned this before. This is my third take doing this, as I've been getting the audio levels right, and a good spot for the mic to be in, since I've been playing around with the position of the arm, because sometimes a little too close or a little too far away from my face. I think where I have it right now is pretty good. If you by any chance hear like a whoosh sound in the back, that is the fans from my PC. That's also why I moved the mic further away from my PC. Like, my desk is right in front of me, and like it's less than a foot away from me. So when I put the mic, you know, when I attach the mic to the arm and the arm's like clamped onto my desk, um, it's like right next to my computer, so you can hear the fans going. So I want to make sure the fans are not in the recording as I'm saying all this, because it's not that big of a deal. I've heard, you know, some of the test recordings I've done, but keeping it at this distance, I think this is the best distance to have the mic at, to where I'm comfortable sitting in front of it, and it's not like in my face, like it's invading my personal space or anything. But at the same time, it's also, you know, not recording my PC fans, because that would be kind of annoying to have. So yeah, I didn't really plan on, you know, anything for this video. Just to share this little update here. I also did upgrade my webcam, so next time on stream when I have my webcam turned on, you will see me in a crisp 60 frames per second 1080p. Now the previous webcam I was using was 1080p, but that was 30 FPS and the image quality was kind of blurry. Not so much the case with the new webcam, so expect to be seeing that on my next stream with Malik and Jimmy, or by myself, depending on, you know, what we can get going around Saturday. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but Saturdays is the dedicated stream day for me compared to other days of the week, just because of my schedule during the week and all that. I could possibly do Friday. Sometimes I can make room for a Friday stream, but for the most part, Saturdays where I tend to keep it, just because I got plenty of time on Saturday to, you know, push out a stream and get that out there, you know, to make some kind of live content. I guess one thing I can touch on in this video as we progress through is AI, because I was, in one of the takes I was doing of this, I was using ChatGPT to give me something to talk about. I really should have planned this a lot better. I am ass at planning things. I just kind of go with the flow of everything. Sometimes I do plan stuff out, but as is the case with planning things out, yeah, they never go as you intend for them to go. But so I did consult ChatGPT, and I asked it to generate me some kind of topics I could discuss. And one of the topics, I'm just gonna go over this list, because some of these topics I don't know how exactly I would go about discussing them, but it said, you know, choose these topics. They're fantastic topics to discuss with your audience. Let's see. Okay, here's one. AI advancements and how they impact daily life. Of course, ChatGPT and AI itself would want to, you know, will want me to glaze it, you know, even though I'm not here to glaze artificial intelligence. In fact, I have my opinions on it. It's kind of 50-50. Well, you know what? I guess that's what will make this. So, my honest opinions on AI, if you haven't, you know, used your critical thinking skills to kind of come to the conclusion that my opinions on AI are mixed. I love the existence of the fact that it makes certain aspects of life more convenient. Like if you need a question answered, AI can tell you a pretty accurate answer without you having to scour Google for information like back in the old days, where if you're like, I need to know this specific thing, like if it's not some big piece of information, like what is this information about this country, or this information about this person, you know, that you can consult Google like we would traditionally do. But if it's like something very specific and you're like unsure about it, I mean, it is helpful in that sense. But at the same time, I know there's people that use artificial intelligence services like ChatGPT to you know, do things that are not very, you know, big on the ethical side. One of those things obviously being, you know, using ChatGPT to generate like an essay or something and then submitting that in. Now, back when I was in college, AI still wasn't a thing yet, so, you know, The people who cheated back in those days, the way that they would cheat is the traditional method of you would take snippets of things off Wikipedia and mishmash them into this Frankenstein essay. Now you'd think that with the programs that exist today to detect essays that were obviously not genuine, that people would probably know better than to not do that. But some people are still pretty retarded, and they still think that, oh no, I could just copy paste what I find on the internet and mash all that together, and I will have an essay ready to turn in. Technology has advanced enough to where you just turn in something, and it's like, oh, I detect that you were using stuff that belonged to this writer, or this essay that was done before, this thing or that thing. So with ChatGPT and just different AI services, obviously those cheat detection programs are gonna find even more shit that was plagiarized. So basically, don't do it. But and that's just on the smaller end of bad things you can do with artificial intelligence. Obviously, there's things like plagiarism is probably the biggest of them, especially in the field of art. That's one of the ones that personally gets to me, because like I mentioned this before. I'm a big supporter of the fine arts. I do love art. I do love things like music, drawings, paintings, TV, film, video games, etc. All these things, I would classify them as art. So when I see something that was generated by AI, specifically if it's being used to make a profit, that's one of those things that does kind of rub me off the wrong way. Just because you're essentially taking somebody else's work and then pushing it out there and being like, oh yes, I made this and I expect $10 to $15 for my AI generated work. I'm like, dude, you didn't make that. You just put in a prompt in a computer, maybe put a reference image of something that's like an IRL picture of something, put it in as a reference, and then said, generate me a drawing of this thing doing this thing, and this is the image to base your image off of. And boom, within a few minutes, you got something. But it's not genuine. I've always said that if you're going to make, AI generated art or AI generated like stories or something, if you're only using them for your own personal consumption and you're not, trying to distribute these things out and make a profit off of them, then yeah, you can go ahead. Like right now, if I wanted to read like a story, to fill up time, because I did ask ChatGPT to write me a story. I read the story in my previous take. It was a very short story, kind of crappy story. I was expecting something with like a good plot or something, but to be fair, if you're asking a ChatGPT to generate a story for you, it's not going to really generate anything of high caliber. It's just going to generate what it knows a story is supposed to be, and it generates what it thinks a good story is supposed to be based off what it read a good story is supposed to be. It's really weird. But for things like that, if you're going to generate a story to just simply read it out loud for entertainment purposes, but you don't intend to actually sell this off as your own story to make a profit or something, or just say that like, oh yes, this is my original work or something, like that's perfectly fine. It's because you're not profiting off somebody else's work. Now comes the more terrifying things about AI that do genuinely worry me, such as the usage of it for computing, or the usage of it for things like deep fakes. Those are the more terrifying things about AI. I know we all get a good chuckle out of those videos where they take like a character and they run the character's voice through artificial intelligence, like the myriad of videos I've seen of like Master Chief tells you some uplifting advice on like how to change your tire or how to get through the bad times in life. Now all those videos seem to be pretty harmless in nature. At the end of the day, when these videos are still using artificial intelligence to take a real voice actor's voice and then turn it into run it through a script and then be like, oh yes, I need you to make Master Chief's VA say this and this as Master Chief, and then just put it out there. Like, again, the nature of those videos are pretty tame, but when you get down to the bottom of it, at the end of the day, it's still, pretty unethical in the sense that you're using somebody else's voice to train an AI to create a new thing of speech using that person's voice. And, like I said, this is one of the more tame cases, but there's other cases of people using, other famous people's voices to make them say things that are pretty bad. And obviously that leads down to the rabbit hole of really unethical things. And obviously with deepfakes, things like deepfake adult content is another big concern. So that's one of the things for me personally that every time I've read about AI, I'm like, yeah, like I know that there's really good applications for it, especially in things like the medical field. I know artificial intelligence has been really good at being able to, I think, detect things like cancer and heart disease and stuff like that, and how long someone has left until they die. Or I don't think we've gotten that far yet on technology, but I think AI was one of the things that was used to help calculate if somebody is at risk for Alzheimer's, if I remember. So like I said, that's one of the neat things about it. But with every new invention that exists, there's good uses for it and there's bad uses for it. It's like nuclear energy. There's good uses for it, such as electricity, and then there's bad uses for it, such as nuclear weapons. So AI is one of those things. Now, do I believe that we can reach something like Skynet from Terminator? I mean, I don't want to rule that out entirely, just because the whole point of Skynet, while this is fiction, but it is still kind of concerning that Skynet essentially started off as an AI, and then the AI went rogue because the AI started thinking to itself more and realized that the main issue with the world was humanity. It's kind of like Shodan in System Shock, a rogue AI that had all of its ethical and moral constraints removed, and it was allowed to think freely for itself. And as it was thinking freely for itself and analyzing all of humanity, it realized that the biggest thing that essentially destroys humanity is humanity itself. So its conclusion was to basically wipe out humanity before it can wipe out itself and everything around it. So that's a dark thing to think about, but it is one of those things that had me thinking as I read what an artificial intelligence gave me for a topic to discuss on this video. And I know I'm saying all that as you're watching gameplay footage of Saints Row the Third Remastered to be exact. This isn't the original Saints Row the Third, even though it is still Saints Row the Third, just with a fresh coat of high definition paint on it and some realistic character models that, in my opinion, just don't look that good with the overall vibe of the game. I prefer the original Saints Row the Third. I have both versions, and I like the more cartoony style of the characters in the original. The remaster, it gets things like lighting effects and textures right, but then it gets things like audio glitches and fucked up looking character models. That's beside the point. But as you can see, this is horde mode. I'm playing as a cowgirl beating the ever-living fuck out of some furries and BDSM people with apparently dildos and dildo bats and sex toys. So hard to believe we used to come up with stuff like this back in the day. Back in the good old days of American entertainment, where we just said anything goes, almost anything goes. If you can think it, you make it. But interesting choice of game to have footage of as I'm discussing about the possibilities of AI, gaining sentience, going rogue, and deciding to kill us all because it came to the conclusion that we are the problem. And I don't want to sound like one of those conspiracy theorists. I don't want to sound like an Alex Jones type who's gonna sit here and say, "Folks, you gotta think very deeply about this. The AI and the government is trying to kill us, and they're using deep spies and deep technology to get into your brains and analyze things in your head, and they're gonna do it through the water supply that makes the frogs gay." Okay. That's my terrible Alex Jones impression, but I'm not trying to go on that level. Even if I share the same first name as that man, I'm not I'm not one of those I'm not one of those people who like, yes, I do believe that there is some sort of strange conspiracy to change the weather, and there's a strange conspiracy that there's lizard people running the world, and that Mark Zuckerberg is like the head lizard man. No, I'm not on that level, but I do agree with some of the conspiracy theories regarding artificial intelligence, just because it's one of those things that's it's too good to be true. I know that there's a lot of room for good things to be done with it, and I approve of that. But for all the good things we can do with artificial intelligence, there are some pretty dark things that can be done with it. And I worry as artificial intelligence looks more and more realistic as the years go by. I mean, hell, like what, 2, 3 years ago, the videos of Will Smith eating spaghetti look painfully fake. Like you could see the spaghetti like clipping through his face, and like there was spaghetti coming out of his arms and his eyeballs and all that, and like he was just merging, he was becoming one with the spaghetti. He was like like melding with the spaghetti and like becoming this half Will Smith, half spaghetti creature. That was the old Will Smith spaghetti eating videos. Fast forward to today, where you can make a video of Will Smith eating spaghetti and it genuinely looks like Will Smith eating spaghetti. Or even the real Will Smith, I think, made a video of himself eating spaghetti as a reference to the meme of him eating spaghetti via AI. But it's all fun and games, but it is one of those things that does have someone like me thinking. I'm like, it's funny. I can have Master Chief. I can watch a video of Master Chief telling me some uplifting stuff, and I can watch a video of Will Smith eating spaghetti, or The Rock eating actual rocks. And while it's all funny and all that, it's the dark implications that make it hard to sleep at night sometimes, when you think, oh God, given another, 5-10 years, and we'll have AI that can generate some terrifyingly realistic footage to that point where we can't tell what's real and what's not real. So I guess in that sense, I kind of understand those people who question everything that they're told, because in 5 to 10 years, when you see a video on the internet, how can you be fully sure that it wasn't generated by AI? Once the AI gets so sophisticated to where it can generate images and videos flawlessly, and it looks like the real deal, then what? Where are we going to go from that point onward? Same thing with voice. Once AI has managed to fully replicate human speech, and basically can make anything with it, then what? Like, what do we do at that point? I mean, I personally believe that there's got to be some kind of restrictions on what you can and can't do with it, and how you can and can't use it, just because of the huge the huge societal implications of it. That's just my take on artificial intelligence. Do with that information as you wish. I'm amazed. I did not have a topic lined up for this video, but now I did, and that'll probably be the title of this video, along with me stating I'm bored. I'm really inching towards the whole idea of making these long, stupid titles that are like bored or felt cute. Made video about me discussing the implications of AI, both the good and the bad, and the really dark. Enjoy, or some shit like that. Like my topic, like my video titles are gonna be like the equivalent of like those Japanese animes or mangas that have like insanely like long titles that are like a whole mini story of a title. Like, was reincarnated, lived my life as a boring office worker, and then died in an accident and was reincarnated as the demon lord of this other reality with my hot sidekick and my idiot assistant, or something like that. And it's like a whole mini story within a story, because the story, like this mini story, is the title. That's what I'm thinking of as the title for this video. Anyways, I'd like to thank y'all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the audio quality from the new mic, and I will see y'all next time. Hopefully I'll get a stream out on Saturday. Today's the 18th. Saturday will be the 22nd. So hopefully by February 22nd, I've got a stream lined up for y'all. If not, I'll probably put out another one of these videos and just chat. I am tempted to make videos of me just reading shit and see how that goes. If y'all like the mic, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know as well. I will see y'all next time. Peace.